we started with this cube template, and then we created a design on that template. All right, so the next step is to cut it out. All right, so you're gonna grab your scissors, you're gonna cut very carefully along the lines, chip, 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 so that you have your whole template all cut out. So do not cut on the dotted lines. Dotted lines indicate folds, solid lines indicate cutting. So if I cut this out, right, I am only cutting nice and neat on the solid lines. Notice that I am moving the scissors very little, that I'm actually turning the paper so that I can cut nice and neat. Look, I'm at this corner, so I'm literally gonna turn the paper, cut on that line. All right, one thing that kind of helps sometimes with the cutting is if you put your elbows on the table, helps you not move the scissors a whole lot, because you want to move the paper so that you have the best control of your lines. So you're going to cut that out nice and neat. The next step, after it's all cut out, is to fold on the broken lines, on the dotted lines. So I am going to actually flip it over and fold these tabs toward the inside. Now, you can push it with your fingers, you can go over it with your fingernail, or I like to use either the side of a pencil or a Sharpie, and just make sure that that is creased really well, because you want a nice clean corner. If it's just folded and you don't crease it, if you can see it, okay, you don't get the nice crispy edge that you do if it is completely creased. So I'm going to use my Sharpie and continue on around to do all of these tabs, and I'm folding them to the inside so that they're essentially going down, because that's going to be important when we attach them in just a minute. Now, if I turn this over, you'll also see that there are dotted lines between these sections. So I want to fold on that line and crease it just like I did with the tabs, because I want my cube to be geometric, and geometric forms have nice, clean, straight lines. So you're gonna fold on all of those lines. Crease it really good. One more, right here. I could find that dotted line. There we go. Make sure the edges line up so I have a square corner, which is kind of ironic given that this is a cube, right? Okay, square means it's all in line with each other. Okay, so I have this all folded. Now it's time to attach this. So if you fold it so that these tabs are on the outside, not only does it cover up your design, but if I'm going to tape it or glue it, it looks messy. So it's bad craftsmanship to have attachments where we can see them. I'm going to tuck all the tabs on the inside. See how that's not on the outside, it's on the inside. Okay, you have a couple options for attachment. One of them is to use a piece of tape. So I line all that up nice and carefully. All right, and put a piece of tape on the inside, because the tab is on the inside, to hold that corner. Now notice if you don't tape the whole thing, it's gappy. So it's important that when you're adding the tape, you tape all along that seam so that it lays nice and flat. See how now it's not loose at all, okay? So I am going to continue with the tape for a second, and then we got something wonky going on in this corner here. Let's fix it. Okay, there we go. So as long as I can reach on the inside, make sure so when I'm putting this on, I want to make sure it lines up on the outside. Remember, good craftsmanship is important. Craftsmanship is how it's put together. A few extra seconds go a long way in this case. Okay, so as long as I can get inside here, taping works. Okay, but when I get to the last section, the other option, which you could use for any of the tabs, so your other option is glue stick. You can use tape or glue stick. So I showed you how the tape works. I will show you how the glue stick works. So I'm going to tape on the top of this tab because it goes underneath. See, whoops, my glue stick just fell apart. That takes talent. It's almost gone. I think we can make it stretch. So this is going to close over it. So I want the glue right here on this tab. Now it's important, again, just like with the tape, you know what? I'm just going to use this glue stick as a little piece. Just like with the tape, that you have glue all over that tab. So you want the tape to be the whole length of that side, but you want the glue to cover the whole tab. Now I will just fold this down. Make sure it's all lined up. Fold it down and hold it together for a minute until the glue starts to set. Okay, so now when it's all done, you can't tell the difference between a glued seam and a taped seam unless you're looking on the inside, which is kind of sneaky, right? So the last part is to glue all of these tabs and attach your top down. So I will show that to you. I want glue on the whole edge. Okay, poor glue stick is about done. Make sure it's all lined up and you push it together. Get a little glue booger. All right, you're gonna hold it together until the glue sets. And then, whoops, I guess it wasn't long enough. Patience, fish, patience. Okay, then you have this nice little cube or display. So your two-dimensional object just became a three-dimensional object. Remember, 2D is length and width. I guess it would be this way, length and width. Or 3D has length, width, and height. So it's an actual object that you can look all the way around.